I believe that organizations succeed to the extent they have leaders at all levels. And if you agree with that, you say, well, how do you get leaders? Are leaders made or born? That's like our athletes made or born. I can make everyone a better runner, a better swimmer, a better tennis player, a better golfer, whatever level you're at today, with a lot of hard work and a lot of coaching. And I believe that about leadership. Any organization where people have invested in the capabilities of people to make them better leaders, they can be much better than they are. Now, the worst people in the world to develop leaders are consultants and professors. It is your job. I have 6 children, 4 grandchildren. Have any of you ever hired a professor or a consultant to tell your children what your values are? Now, mine are all in their 20s now, and there were times when they were teenagers where I wish I could have hired a professor or a consultant, but it was my job. Same for you as a leader in an organization. It is your job to teach your people, not the job of sending them off to training courses. I believe that leaders have to develop leaders. And if you're going to develop another leader, you have to have what I call a teachable point of view. If your children look at you and say, okay, so what are your values? You better have an answer. If the people who work for you say, okay, well, what does it take to be a good leader in this company? You better be able to teach them. 4 simple elements to a teachable point of view. If I were a tennis coach and you just paid a lot of money to learn to play tennis, 1-week tennis clinic, I better have a teachable point of view on tennis, right? 4 elements. Ideas. How do I teach the backhand, the forehand, the serve, the rules of tennis? There are a set of intellectual framing of the game, ideas. If I'm a good coach, I probably have a set of values. You show up on time, you're dressed a certain way, certain kind of etiquette, ideas support value, the values support the ideas. But if that's all I have, how am I going to get you to work 8 hours a day, run around the tennis court, hit 500 backhands, 500 serves, go through all these drills? What am I going to show you, a PowerPoint presentation and say, here are the ideas, here are the values, now go to work? No, I have to have a teachable point of view about emotional energy. How do I motivate you to get excited about those ideas and those values? One end of the spectrum, it can be, I can use whips and chains and threaten you. The other end of the spectrum is I can give you bonuses and stock options. I can give you an opportunity to grow and learn. What do I believe about how I emotionally energize people, using the tennis example, to buy into the ideas and values? And the 4th element is edge. And edge is making the tough yes-no decisions. In the tennis examples, you're on the team, you're off the team. The ball was inbounds, it wasn't, or out of bounds. And I don't hire consultants, I don't set up committees, I make yes-no decisions. Absolutely the same for running an organization. Jeff Immelt, the CEO of the General Electric Company. What are the ideas, products, services, distribution channels, customer segments that are going to drive shareholder value for General Electric Company? What are the values to be a member of that 320,000 person organization? How do I emotionally energize 320,000 people? And how do I make the tough yes-no decisions on acquisitions, divestitures, who's on the team, off the team?